afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacaster with me, your host, Imperial Dane, master of propaganda, hero of right, defender of the fatherland. Off yet an exciting 1 vs 1 on Crossroads. We've been slightly updated here with a recent patch, but you also have a new map. I have yet to find a match on that one, at least worthwhile casting. So there's been some paths open up here and there. But the setting is the Eastern Front 1944. The Russian steamrollers in full swing, and somewhere the 7th Panzer Division, in order to counterattack, to at least buy some time to reorganize the front line. In the north, we got Ikab moving ahead here for the Soviet Union, and the 25th Tank Corps, with Armoured Assault unit chosen with infantry, machine gun, and anti-tank gun bulletins versus Angreifen's fortifications, Luftwaffe, and breakthrough with triple infantry. We got a double full scale build here with Sturmpioniere Strafniki right on the way here for Ikab. He goes for the special rifle command start. Very popular versus the Oberkommando West, since the penal troopers are a bit trickier for them to deal with. We got Sturmpioneers hiding behind here. He's hoping to spot anything, just cut it down with the assault rifles. Ikab, those taking a much longer. Securitas rode up north, so he might not actually be ambushed here by the Sturmpioneers. Oh, so Russians will be so surprised. Yeah, any moment now. Any moment now. Yeah. Any. Ah, scheiße, they're not coming, are they? Well, maybe they are. They just could, be a bit late. The Russians are exactly known for being punctual. Sandbags down here. Note again also some changes. The fuel point is now further westwards. The victory point has been drawn a bit further away here from the base, so that's all been changed a bit up. Sandbags done. Grab the point here, and scout car out there for Ikab. That's going to be quite a problem if I'm going to do in the early game. I mean, say going for additional Sturmpioneer escorts, they could combine with a firepower, bring down the scout car, but all it's going to need like Kedmov to stop that. We got more pilots on the way. We got the M31 ready here, an American light vehicle that was supplied to the Russians via Lend-Lease, was usually used by the reconnaissance troops. So roll ahead and do some damage. There you go, right behind. They get to ambush it, but again it's a scout car. They get some hits in, but the problem is one Sturmpioneer escort really can't do a lot of damage. In this case, apparently they just actually can't do any damage at all. Like they barely did any. That was some really bad luck there for Angreifen. I mean, theoretically they should actually do some decent damage, but just apparently not a single shot hit. Not entirely sure what happened there, to be honest. But yeah, again, you'd normally otherwise need 2 Sturmpioneer escorts. I think it was sufficient damage to the scout car, so bring it down fast enough. You're probably going for the Kedmov to deal with it, since that's usually the common choice here. More engineers for Ikab. Forces they're being pursued, need to retreat before they get wiped. Here, the M31 and the penal troops inside. In the south there, we've already got troops moving about there. Almost got the cuff point here as well. And interesting enough, Angreifen is not committing to a Kedmov effort. There we go. There we go. I was about to say that would be a bit weird if you weren't going for a Kedmov effort. At least somewhat try and deal with the M31. Also known as the White Scout car. So I imagine someone named White was involved with it. Usually tends to be the case with those names. And again, maybe some other reason. Oh, there's Scout coming about here, shooting away at the fascists, the Hitlerite scum. There's lots of firepower there. Engineers picking up support as well. We got Kedmov on the way there for Angreifen. And there you go, Raketten there for ready. People hitting the eastern point. We got a mine down here, so obviously hoping to catch up some rations, maybe catch the scout car in it if the Kedmov doesn't work out. And skirmishing about here, forces the penal troopers, SVT forces come out in case going to eat the Sturm, but a chance that the forces there out in the open bar versus the penal troopers. That is going to be a bit risky there for Angreifen, bit risky. Kedmov ready with a 3rd penal troop on the way there for Ikab. Sturmpioneer advancing viciously on the Strafniki up close and deadly, doing a lot of damage there. We could see a tiny chance of a wipe there, but he's too slow retreating. And yes, indeed, Ikab's reaction time here was actually a bit slow, allowing Angreifen to score an early kill of quite the high caliber there in the early game, since the penal troops are quite expensive at 300 manpower. That is quite a loss there. Quite a loss, and should help Angreifen out a bit there in the early game, giving him a better chance of controlling the field, of course. He still needs to get rid of the scout car, which is a sizable threat, since the scout car itself packs a lot of firepower. With infinite, it can do a lot more damage. So that's a little fun note. There we got a bit of harassment up north here with the Volksgrenadiers. But we got penal troops nearby, though there's not a lot of cover for them to cling about, so the Volks would have a chance to do some damage. Plus incendiary grenades off, so they could probably deny the cover here. And he just retreats. I can understand why. Battlegroup headquarters up here for Angreifen. No mechanized regiment here. Might be planning a flak half-track, or just wants Panzerfaust out as fast as possible to get counter the M3A1, which of course is quite understandable. Third penal troopers go on the way there again for Ikab. He definitely wants a bunch of those penal troopers. The Strafniki, we've got the Skaka rolling ahead here. Shooting here, penal troopers from the other side. And for they're being pushed back. Interesting enough, I might have to been a misclick there maybe. Montage will retreat both there. Timing seems a bit weird. Rakedner's just mulling about. He's basically trying to figure out where's the Skaka likely to be. And since he can't easily just predict that, it makes it a bit hard for him to set up like Kedman in a good position. Right now, Ikab's in a good control of the map, despite losing the penalty squad. Angreifen sort of used to hithering and dithering, makes it hard for him to just focus, grab any point successfully. Skaka there about precision repairs, troops healing reinforcing, with an MD-34 on the way to help deal with Ikab's infantry. A very good choice here. The penalty scores are definitely good choices to just suppress, since there'll be a lot less of them, so everyone can suppress and you can usually do a deal more to just slow down your opponent's strategy. Noting no assault rifles yet, but it looks. Oh, there we go. One squad is getting the Sturmgewehr 44, also known as the Machine and Pistolen 44, which was the name before it was sort of officially named as the Sturmgewehr, but it was still basically a project being hidden from the Führer, since initially he was not particularly keen on the weapon. No, it was a weapon they kept developing for several years, despite him trying to knock it off very early on. So a little fun fact there, folks, was a penal troopers here, heavy fire, more assault rifles on the way there for Angreifen. We got penal troopers flanking up behind them, and the flank emplacement can't quite cover. Hitting the fuel point here, Rakedner creeping up, and we got the machine gun setting up to cover there as well. With the Sturmpionier again ready to move in there to flank, the folks there don't need to retreat, they're about to get wiped. Heavy damage there from the Strafnik, and there you go. Otto leads his men into the fight. There's only Jürgen that joins since the others can't quite see them. Quick response there from Ikab to fall back to a better position as Sturmpioneers close in. You should definitely, I think, try to close in from here to there to get in with more effective range. Right there, it's not fully effective, I think, for the Sturmpioneers. Not fully effective. There you go, in the end still pulls it off. The penalties are going down in front of the hail fire of assault rifle fire from the Sturmpioniere. No, Pioneers in general, I think, were not actually equipped with assault rifles. Those more certain Panzergrenadier units and the Volksgrenadiers. That's a fun fact. There we got the Scout coming up here, straight into the Volksgrenadier. Needs a bit of movement here going up. It's grab and advance. Sandbags down, and Sturmpioneers being assaulted by the Scout car. This time, though, more damage from feet. This time, they're actually hitting the bloody thing, and we can see the Scout car is now suffering much more rapid damage from the bullets. Sandbags halfway done here, troops healing reinforcing. The assault rifle came about basically because the Germans sort of did a lot of studying throughout the war, usually looking at what happened during a battlefield. And they sort of concluded that most of the fighting actually happened between the usual effective ranges of a bolt action rifle and a submachine gun. Sort of realised, we probably would be better off if we just designed a weapon that sort of worked really well within that range. I think it's sort of roughly the 300 to 500 meter range, and that's basically sort of led to that one. So, little fun fact there. Strafniki moving southwards there. Also worth noting, the Germans also used penal troopers, or Bewahrungstruppen, quite a bit. For example, I think some units, for example, in North Africa, that sort of fought like that. It was also a case of some, I believe, fighting in Arnhem. So, a little fun fact there. Little fun fact there. Just holding up here with the assault rifles. Fallschirmjägers pushing back the engineers. Loading mines there from Ikab, good spot. And no Panzerfaust there. T-70 on the way for Ikab has been able to take advantage of the initial sort of fuel control, just push out T-70. Angreifen does have Rakedner from a theoretically one mine, but the T-70 could very well have a very high impact here on Angreifen as soon as it hits. It's still just got one Rakedner, and that's basically all the way over. He can't really react. For example, this Ikab decides to strike here or here around the centre. So there's definitely a lot of risk involved here for Angreifen. Plenty of rewards for Ikab. And the 25th Tank Corps. Mine goes off there. Jürgen und Fritz pays the price. And there you go, T-70 light tank out here for Ikab. Strafen about Fallschirmjäger handling by the center victory point with the FG-42, which was sort of a specific, well, Fallschirmjäger weapon, sort of meant to be able to act as both a light machine gun but also sort of as a rifle, which is sort of basically made relic turned into, well, an assault rifle. Though technically, considering its caliber, it would actually be known as a battle rifle, which is sort of like an assault rifle except it fires, you know, full rounds, whereas an assault rifle actually fires shortened rounds with less firepower in them. And there you go. Oh, Satchel charge off. Ah, he doesn't realise it, and he loses the entire Fallschirmjäger squad. A huge loss there for Angreifen, considering they do cost 380 manpower. He didn't do too much damage, so that was really nice there for Ikab. Mine close by. Scout car stops right in front of it. You know, Petrov, yes, have you ever had this feeling that your stuff is about to happen and it's really bad stuff? Like, you know, right in front of us there could be mines or something. I know, crazy thought, but have you ever got this feeling? Mines laid down there and finally finished. Shumina, which I'm pretty sure actually wasn't very effective as a vehicle since it didn't have a lot of explosives in it. It was basically meant to just main infantry that sort of stepped upon it. Actually, and not actually kill, so I don't even think it had sort of like sufficient explosive power to really sort of seriously damage the tank. Though I could be wrong there. Could be wrong. There you go, mine goes off and someone gets a bit more than the feet blown off. So we got Luftwaffe Ground Forces versus Armoured Assault here. We got a sniper out here for Ikab, so to put pressure on Angreifen. A careful lens got in the T-70. The 88mm rocket penetrates and does some nice damage. Back here, Sturmpionier almost good to go. Truck moving out. It's going to be a spare punted quarters, I imagine, around here, which has also been opened up a bit more. Close the holding up. We got the T-70 up again, firing its 45mm cannon. Near secured sniper sneaking about, so far not a single kill to his name. There we go, Schwerer panzered quarter setting up there from the Schwerer Wehrmacht Schlepper. I'll cover this area and somewhat here. They can't quite cover the fuel. Strafnicki moving out there with their T-40. Pions were actually generally well equipped. They're not necessarily well treated, but they were generally sort of heavily equipped, in fact, compared to the average, so true, they're certainly not lacking there. Although there were situations possibly early in the war where there were, you know, just, you know, one gets a rifle, one doesn't. There's some situations there that's not fully clear. For example, there was apparently a case with a Stalin volunteer rifle division somewhere around Rashev that was apparently really poorly treated and was made out of convicts from Siberia that's been exiled there in the first place. But again, that's all the fun about history. That's not always a... Oh, shit! Sturmpanzer right by the Satchel charge. That was definitely not good for Angreifen. But sort of always clear answers. Of course, some people like to do that. Just to make it out. So there's many interesting things there to consider. But yeah, there was something called the Stalin Volunteer Rifle Divisions. Really sort of inspiring name. Forces there taking some losses here from the Peons. We've got the T-70 up here. Sniper getting off some kills as well. Mine on the sandbags. That's going to be a wipe there for Angreifen. That's going to be an absolute wipe. There we go. So many wipes in a matter of time here for Angreifen. Huge losses. That's going to be really big here for Ikab. Really big. Very bad start there for opening moments here for Angreifen. He's definitely also have to rely on a Panzer Force to turn things around. In that regard, he probably does have an ability to change the game's course once more, since Ikab is actually quite vulnerable right now to sort of medium armor. We got an orbital alert squad on the way there for Angreifen, and that could be pretty good. Light machine guns plus the ability to lay down booby traps. Though they do get neglected by a lot of Oberkommandos, play the booby traps actually pretty good. MD-34 there being repulsed by the T-70 light tank. And getting a kill there. Poor Otto was a bit too slow, clearing hit like Raketenwerfer. Mechanized armor company up as Ikab rushes ahead. He could try and rush out T-34s from the 6, which actually, you know, would put some pressure on Angreifen. Or he could be aiming for the T-35, which would actually cut off a Panzer Force, being an effective choice for Angreifen, and could actually force him to then consider a Panther instead, which would then be the optimal choice. But you know, he goes for the T-34s from the 6. Ikab just wants tanks out fast. Which is certainly an option, but it certainly makes Angreifen's Panzer IV, which I imagine he'll be going for, a much more viable choice. Light machine gun there, almost done for the Obersoldaten. Engineers are taking hits there. Fulters defending the center victory point. Machine gun being enforced. More Sturmpionier on the way for Angreifen. Likely in anticipation of a tank. to help repair and support, of course, minesweepers as well, since Ikab is not like going to stop mining. And there you go, ambushed by the Kednefers, but not enough line of sight, so he can't quickly finish off, and there's nothing to screen the Kednefers either, so Ikab can easily just push them away there. So a bit unfortunate there. Chief of the Force arriving there for Ikab. Fresh Sturmpioneer squad arriving there for Angreifen for Germany. Grabbing points here, T7 being fixed up and rapidly. T3 Force and 6 setting out. And there you go, folks, pulling up closer to the engineers and force them away successfully. And now we got Valiant Assault. Interesting, he's really going on the offensive here, I think, a bit recklessly so, but he's definitely got faith in the fatherland. I think he's trying to rush down the snow. In this case, doesn't work out. I mean, the rest of the thing actually goes rather poorly, and he just then spent 70 munitions on absolutely nothing, it seems. Almost losing another Fultz Grenadier squad. Which, of course, he needs to then reinforce that, or just, you know, keep things off guard until you get out of the Panther 4. He probably should be prioritising getting the Panther 4 up more than anything. Because the longer he delays that, the more damage the T3 Force 6 and T7 can easily do to Angreifen right now. Looks like he is indeed setting up for it here. The Fultons are not being reinforced. He's not for now. He is seconds away from the Panzer IV. He could try and go for the Panther right now, but I think that put too much of his economy, I think, on cooldown for too long, allowing Ikab to push ahead too aggressively. But he could go for it. He could. Now the pressing issue, of course, is that Ikab now holding most of the map. I mean, he's getting a fat fuel advantage over Angreifen, and that's going to be a massive issue for him. T5 going up. McKenna's ready, more or less, to open up on that tank. First rocket fly, second hits both and penetrates. T7, could they get it? Ah, almost got it, but not quite. Cash out for Ikab, so that for the long fight here, more tanks. Of course, also just gives him even bigger fuel advantage. And I mean, he does have the potential for an IS-2 down the road, so that helps. We got a Katyusha on the way for Ikab to further put pressure on Angreifen, allowing him to, you know, just punish Angreifen. He plays too defensively as well. Panther fast off from the T-70. Panther 4 slowly crawling its way towards the front here for the 7th Panzer Division, like Kedem setting out and grabbing the center victory point with the penal troopers. Lots of mines here. He's being very consistent about those. Very nicely there. He might. Yes, he gets the T-70 finally. A small victory for Angreifen right now, though things are still looking rather bleak in the face of Ikab's successes and armor. And he's just laying down a lot of mines. Like, he's being very thorough with the mining to a degree there. Lots and lots of mines, and that's really good. Not for Angreifen, obviously, but you know, that's kind of the point. Pin marching on the way there for the Panzer IV, the Panzerkampfwagen 4 troops heading reinforcing moving eastwards. He still could, I think, benefit from some booby traps. Moving up, returning to the T for the Force loses Heinz and Fritz. Panzer IV moving up and bombarding the Pumas with their cover, slowly crumbling away in the centre here. Every force up to dealing with the Pumas from squad on there, and the tank rifles already beginning to crumble away at the cover. More to tank rifles up. Ikab is already beginning to shift over to dealing with enemy armor more. House is slowly crumbling away there as the supports are being undone by the Panther Force heavy and reckless fire. T4 for flanking, very good move there. Good hit there in return as well from the Panther 4 and the T4. Already suffered more damage. The Kedma coming up. My apologies. Return hit there from the Panther 4 and the Penal Troopers, but it's already down to half health. It's going to need immediate repairs here if it wants to keep it fighting here in any sort of decent condition. The problem is right now the Sturm Pioneers are far removed from the tank. Orbison got the point here. Booby trap would be helpful, I think, for Angreifen. You should not underestimate the power of booby traps. And by Jove, we are actually getting a booby trap here. Splendid work, splendid. So Otto, what are we using for this? Strike here gets Rekedner. Bad news there for Angreifen. he can use recruit T-54 on the way there for Ikab. Strafniki setting out there very, very close to Veteran 3. Orbison also waiting ambush. They're ready to finish off anyone who might survive the booby trap. Sniper there with 7 kills. Kednev's creeping up, going for the fuel point again into another mine, spotting another mine being laid down there. Again, he's being very thorough with the mines. Really good work there again. Absolutely outstanding work. But T-54 only kills a few of his own before they're getting flanked by Kednev. A battery quickly tearing itself apart there. Almost taking out the T-54 again. Pimps on the way there, Orbison on the way there. So do you think that ever takes the bait? Yeah, don't worry, civil. Civil. There we go, Pimps moving in. Alright, squad, be ready and don't touch. And oh, is that vodka? Hello. And there we go, full wipe. I mean, it's not that often that German booby trap can do that, because the Serb booby traps are really effective at wiping. But like, if they sort of end up somehow bunching up, like the booby trap can actually wipe them for 50 munitions, which is pretty good. So I mean, that definitely is going to help out Angreifen a bunch. Is, you know, utter obliteration. Plus, it could also have a nice psychological effect in Ikab, causing him more cautious. Of course, that requires Angreifen to more consistently booby trap his points. But I'll have to see if he actually does that. If he does, I mean, it's not going to matter much, which is going to be a bit unfortunate. Since again, I do think booby traps are great and very much underutilized by a lot of Oberkommandobus players. Panzer IV moving up, getting shot at there, turns and does not quite hit. So it takes a hit from the T-45. That'll kill him from the forces storming the fuel point away to defend it from the rations. More heavy damage being inflicted by Kednev's just considered the blast away. Panzer IV falling back, getting flanked with the T-44 from 6. Engineers wiped out, another loss here for Ikab and the 25th Tank Corps. MG-34 somehow trying to deal with the T-34 from 6, not a fully successful endeavour. The Pilms are just getting gutted. As the anti-tank rifles were useful versus armour, not very useful versus assault rifles and regular rifles. Katyusha fire here, Angreifen reacts instinctively, just moves away from the zone as anticipated. Ikab does not extend though. Ooh, pretty ballsy move there, pretty ballsy. Panzer IV shooting repairs again. We've got the Orbison moving ahead there. Engineer spotting mines, coming under fire from the Orbison immediately. T-44 and there we go. Return hit on the Orbison Darden. Panzer IV was good to go, but not quite. The Kednev is setting up, trying to catch that Bolshevik tank. Another Panzer IV for Angreifen. I mean, with a T-45 out on the field, Angreifen, I think, would now, in the current situation, I think you're better off trying to play either for Jagdpanzer or a Panther to, you know, engage the T-45 better. Plus, of course, gain more advantage versus the T-34 from 6, rather than committing to another Panzer IV. But that's just my opinion. Again, as they're landing more hits on the T-45 again, pushing in a lot of damage. Fulston is there, he's been healing with the power of their veterans. And there you go, mine goes off in the T-44. Looks like Ikab forgot about it at that rate, which is interesting. Angreifen immediately says him to try and take it out. Can he get there in time? Can he destroy it? And can he avoid, you know, losing his arm in the process? So there you go, first shot hits a bloody wall. Takes return it from the T-44. There you go, second Panzer IV ground veterans, one game for the Panzer IV. T-45 flanking it, misses though. We got a Kednev setting up there, and MG-34 setting up as well. Need to be careful, then need to be careful. Shot fails to penetrate the Panzer. That's pretty lucky there for Angreifen. Other Panzer moving up in the far west. Katyusha fire going in there. Needs to retreat here soon. His stuff. He might just be able to get the T-45 there, and he gets it. A big loss there for Ikab. Big loss. We've got a sad charge off the anti-tank Pilmtroopers, taking out the Panzer IV's main gun and the Angry. We got it. Oh, taken out with the anti-tank rifles. Very nice throw there by Ikab. It's only highlighting you definitely want some infantry to support your tanks to help deal again with such things. Angreifen might want to consider another Obersoldaten squad with more light machine fire to help keep the Pilmtroopers at bay. Plus, I mean, he can lay down more booby traps. I definitely think you should be prioritising booby traps a lot across the map here. Dealing with the fuel cache there. Schnell. And we got a Fallschirmjäger squad instead. It is faster and doesn't require munitions which is spent on an upgrade, but you know, no booby traps either. Plus, he's not exactly doing a lot with his munitions anyways. I mean, it just seems a bit moot to go for Fallschirmjägers. I mean, they are faster off in the field as well. Dropping into the cemetery there. Looks like he's trying to push through in the east. Pilms was there with lots of firepower, more importantly, the sniper and support. So quickly cutting off the Ikab there from its western fuel source as well. Now it's suddenly Angreifen just getting a lot of fuel this time around. Panzer IV thinks should be pulled a bit further back, now to supporting in the east. As Ikab is making a big push here in the west. Elite troops just grabbing territory around and fighting the enemy. Got the machine gun on the way for the Panzer IV. Almost got the western victory point. Victory points wise. There's a lead for Angreifen over Ikab. And you for defending the point here. Again, this is where maybe also booby traps are going to be great, because so far it seems like Ikab is just not particularly concerned about them. Which, you know, is the usual point where then going for more booby traps can usually punish your opponent. Pitches about straight to the base. Holy smokes! Heavy casualties there. Almost wiping out 2 full Volksgrenadier squads. Those are some absolutely brutal hits there. 12 kills. Panzer IV trying to go for the nuke. There's still mines about and other things. And there you go. Anti-tank pills, of course, with the satchel charges. They're very sticky satchel charges. That was an absolutely fiendish move there by Ikab. He might have been trying to bait a Panzer IV, of course, into rushing in as well, so he could take it out. And seems like he's almost close to pulling it off. He got air support going in there. T4 taking hits, but nothing compared to the punishment here Angreifen taking in the west side of the map. He needs to immediately activate the Schwerpunkt support to fire at it. Troops need to pull back to reinforce. Hope they don't get shot down by anything. Holy smokes, that was close. A few more meters to the left. That could have been another heavy loss there to Angreifen. Panzer IV, they're almost good to go again. And it actually hits the flak emplacement. That's a bit ironic. Back here, the KoH2 ready to go more or less now. Just needs a few more seconds to get all the rockets ready. Panzer IV setting out here. Will he go for another one? Will he go for the Panther? What else have Angreifen bigger plans in mind? Ikab just keeps mining, which he definitely should keep doing. Push for the center. Victory cut off on there. Pilms was supported by the sniper. Angreifen could flank behind it with the Volksgrenadier squad and wipe out the sniper. Maybe. And there we go. Finally wipes the bastard. A nice victory here for Angreifen for Germany. Bit of loss there for Ikab. We got the Pilms taking heavy damage for the Fallschirmjägers and the Opposition working together here. Panzer IV dueling that with the T-3406. Ikab here going for the IS-2. I think that definitely is going to call a Panther here for Angreifen to deal with. I mean, he could go for the Yak Panzer IV, but another Panzer IV I think would be a really poor choice versus an IS-2, the Josef Stalin 2 tank with 8 pins machine on the way as well. Very good work, very good work. Looking out on the flank here, Pistol Pioneers need to retreat before they get wiped. And we got the KoH2 barrage as well on the centre. Volksgrenadiers forcing retreat here from Angreifen. IS-2 rolling ahead. He goes for the Jagdpanzer. That is a fair choice. Has a better rate of fire than the Panther does have some other advantages. And he did have the resource, I think, to get away with going for a Panther rather than straight to the Jagdpanzer. But that's just me. We'll have to see. We shall have to see. Orbs on there take a devastating hit here. He's also floating a ton of munitions. Again, mines and boob traps right now do Angreifen a lot of good here, I think, versus Ikab. As for Ikab, like, just keep mining. Just keep mining. And pressuring the fuel points. Denying Angreifen the ability to take up. Jagdpanzer almost done. IS-2 rolling ahead here. Panzer IV, there's the penal troopers. And Luftwaffe going for a flank. Very nice move there by Ikab. Very nice move. Forces moving up. The Pims will be taken out. And we got the Yak Panzer moving ahead of this high velocity semi-final gun. Same as on the Panther. And there we go. It gets to the T-54. And the Panzer IV survives in the process. I cannot lead it about quickly. On the Yak Panzer, we got air support called in here. Full retreat here. Full retreat. Yak Panzer. Ooh, not turning in, interestingly enough. Fallschirmjäger, Sturmpanzers all being suppressed. IS-2 continues at Yak Panzer trying to about to deal with this. Panther IV needs to get away. IS-2 rolls straight here into Angreifen's base. He doesn't care. Heavy loss there. Raketen were wiped out. Troops trying to get out of the way of the IS-2 here in the center. Folks all winning. The Pims have got Kutsia wipe here. Kutsia wipe. Except he's not paying attention. Yak Panzer is going to try and flank up behind the IS-2. That seems in some ways interesting, but pretty risky. No, looks like he realized there's a bad idea. Meanwhile, Ikab's destroying like Kedmap's inside Angreifen's base. We got air support called in now from Angreifen, trying to push away. There we go, it successfully pushes away into the line of fire. The Yak Panzer shoots, bounces off the IS-2 side armor. Second shot that goes through. Third shot bounces again. Air support landing some hits there. Fourth shot also bounces. Bad luck there for Angreifen. And of course, a Panther would also have a better penetration versus the IS-2. Despite in war have the same gun, for some reason they decided to give the Panther slightly less penetration. Fun fact. Full to the versus the Pims from up there. Engineer springing as well here. Yak Panzer falling back and Ikab standing about. Panther form is good to go. Big elite troop push here in the centre. He could consider maybe some violent assault to go along with it. And a Katyusha barrage straight into the base again. Hoping to look for more wipes against Angreifen. Ikab is relentless and merciless. Angreifen's Panzer IV is ready. And didn't do too many wipes. Still got a lot of damage in there. The Yak Panzer was known as Guderian Stack. And the funny thing is, while the sort of commentator is he didn't want it, the reality is he still wanted it. I mean, he obviously wanted the Stug as Panzer Inspector General, but he couldn't get it, so he actually hijacked a lot of assault gun projects and made them tank destroyers. The Yak Panzer was one of them. That's a little fun note there. You might ask, well, how can you tell they're assault gun projects? Well, you normally don't stick machine guns on tank destroyers, yet in a lot of the German tank destroyers, there's machine guns, particularly the early model of the Yak Panzer, had 2 MG42s in it. And even this one technically has one, but the problem is they've only covered it over, so it doesn't have a machine gun on it, but it did actually have it. Be careful, all the anti-tank people will be bomb grenades, will be great here, bomb grenade. Ah, he's staying too close. He's trying to manage too much, and at the same time, there you go, Pims was pushed back, IS-2 running back as well. So yeah, that was technically an assault gun, but again, because Guderian wanted to control the Stug so desperately, he was willing to just hijack as many assault gun projects, during development to make them into tanks, so at least that way he could sort of control it. That's definitely something his memoirs do not mention. Mostly slightly allude to it with the Hetzer, and that's about it. Issued a fire on the way there for Ikab. Penetrating here from the Yak Panzer. Trot on the way there for Angreifen's going to take up, I think, Mechanized Regiment. I mean, that could definitely help him relieve some of the pressure they're having to maintain stuff by actually sending out Sturmpanzers to deal with it, but I do think you should aim for a Panther here versus the IS-2. Machine gun repositioned. Also, fun fact about the Yak Panzer, the gun's actually too big for the chassis to sort of really handle. They had a big issue with the Yak Panzer tipping forwards, sticking the gun into the dirt, which was really bad. Actually, they're going for the Fox Grenadiers. Issued a fire almost down there for Ikab. Shoots, misses. Panzer being flanked by a lot of anti-tank rifles. Carefully. Need to be very careful. Mechanized Regiment up. A few hits in the Yak Panzer as well from the Strafniki. Orbison Veteran 2 is pretty good here. We got the IS-2 shooting missing a bit here. There's already got 19 kills. Has been doing pretty well so far, going for the eastern victory point here. We got a big fat lead for Angreifen Ikab, and oh, IS-2 they actually rushed ahead, got the gun down pretty aggressively. Panzer IV, halfway to Phoenix, be careful, need to be careful. A lot of damage has been done to the side armor. And I can choose your barrels here, obviously. Oh, no, he's going to lose the opposite and drop the light machine gun. Heavy loss there for Angreifen. He needs more elite infantry. More Obersoldaten. Geballte Ladung here. Cancelled, grabs the LMG-34 for the Fallschirmjägers instead. To deny it to the enemies of the Reich. No repair parties out there to the Jagdpanzer. Panzer IV closing in on veterans free. Oh dear, don't let it. Ah, he moved the Panzer IV exit up to close. There might have been a misclick out of the way. That's going to be quite pleasant. We got the pinch pushing ahead, and we got the IS-2 following up in the wake. Jagdpanzer moving in, Raketenlever ready as well in case he decides to try and go for the kill here. Angreifen could maybe just be able to punish Ikab for it. Need to retreat the Sturmpioneers because he still hasn't the repair pioneers ready. Oh, he probably should be doing that soon. And then go for the Panther. I mean, there's the theoretical option of going for the King Tiger, but I feel like the King Tiger is too slow right here in terms of just how much time he has to spend on it. Oh dear. Satchel charge. Costs him the Jagdpanzer, and that's a big loss there for Angreifen, a big loss for the German army. So it makes it harder for Angreifen to contain Ikab's IS-2, so that was a really good move there. Saw an opportunity, took it, and punished Angreifen for being a bit incautious there with his Jagdpanzer on his right flank. I mean, you should of course realise at this stage that Ikab's going to do everything he can to get close with his anti-vehicle satchel charges, and that way just make things a lot easier for him and a lot harder for Angreifen. So Angreifen should probably be prioritising stuff there. Also, he's got a lot of munitions, more valiant assaults, more, airborne assaults, but also just more booby traps. If he had Obersoldaten for it, but even just mines could do a lot there. He definitely should not be flowing that many munitions, though. He should definitely not be flowing that many munitions. Fallschirmjäger's pulling ahead here, and we got a blend curve up, but also a quick hit there from the IS-2. Volksgrenadier moving in. Got the Panzer IV moving ahead. Strafniki falling back. Sturmpioneer moving in. Fallschirmjäger needing healing and reinforcement. And most explicitly fast. But yeah, he's going for the King Tiger now. He's banking everything on it. And once more, Ikab just fires the Katyusha into his base. Doesn't need to get a lot of hits though, which is lucky there for Angreifen. Unfortunately, you need to be careful again. Maintain distance. Good hit though. T-45 on the way to support the IS-2. Very good move there by Ikab. Troop ceiling reinforcing. IS-2 roaming about, looking for targets to crash. And he's basically setting up for the King Tiger now before reinforcing his other troops. And there you go. Königstiger out. Tiger 2. Or Tiger B as it was also known. Panzer moving up the west side. He probably should be working together with the King Tiger, to be honest. He should fire there instead of the T-45 probably realises that Angreifen might be playing for the King Tiger next, in which case he definitely wants something with more penetrative power from a safer distance. But he needs to support the King Tiger, but if he needs to be aggressive with it, it's just going to be sitting doing nothing for Angreifen, at which point again it makes no sense to actually save up all those resources rather than going for a Panther. So King Tiger is just standing about. Hard to say what Angreifen's plan is here. And there you go, Panther being spotted here by the eyes too. Okay, nothing nearby, but there you go, almost wipes the entire Sturm Pioneer squad. Needs to retreat now. King Tiger being shifted westwards. And after having made that quick hit, we can just see Ikab coming back. His eyes too. He's probably anticipating response. Of course, at this stage, you should be able to hear the King Tiger. Its distinctive engine noise as it makes as it rolls across the map. Katusha find the center victory point. Gets away the infantry time. We got the 85 me up in the King Tiger. King Tiger can't respond, too slow, and the 85 causes just too far away. 306 was 177. It really needs to spend some munitions on something. Like Kedmov needs to get out of there. Panther just waiting for something, though I don't know what. And there we go, another Kedmov up here by the eyes too. 26 kills. Sneaking about here in the east. Heavy fighting here between the Panther and the Penal Troops. Like Kedmov, they've been close to taking out. King Tiger's much support, and there he goes, shoots, gets a single kill. We got the Fudge-Makers, they're losing out to the Penal Troops here. We got Machine Gun, they're quick supporting. Nice covering position. There you go. King Tiger goes for it. Shot bounces, but so does the issue. 5 shot on the King Tiger's armor. Another bouncing hit there. And the Kedmov are destroyed. Penetrating from the issue 5 this time. They're on the Königstiger. Angreifen forces are looking a bit depleted compared to Ikab, which is much larger, more infantry. Plus support weapons like artillery, which is definitely something Angreifen is lacking. He's very short on artillery right now. No light infantry guns, no Stukas Fusses, which is also basically it. Like, he doesn't have any other artillery options anyways. But there's nothing there at all. I wouldn't recommend the Stukas Fusses, but I think a light infantry gun could be helpful, just at least to set up for some attacks, maybe with the smoke machine. Panther flank about here behind the rear lines. Half 8 to veteran 4. King Tiger going in for the eyes too, and another unit wiped. Their machine gun dropped dead. Looks like he's trying to flank here. Oh, retreats the Sturm Pioneers. Might have been looking for mines as well, obviously. Needs to be careful though. And then go another Katusha barrage into the base, hoping to wipe some stuff there from Angreifen. 3 on 2 versus 156. The Oberfallschläger moving in with a light machine and straight into the ice too. King Tiger seeing some light repairs moving up. Panther Forge seemingly diddling about in the west flank. There we go, direct hit from the King Tiger on the ice too. High velocity 88mm gun there, packing quite the punch. And there you go, Panther flank up behind. Somebody be careful from the mines. The mines! Scheisse! Veteran 4 game. But again, he allows the Pumas to get close to it. King Tiger, getting flanked by 2 Pumas squads. He doesn't realise it. Oh no. And that's almost the King Tiger just gone there. Lost the Panther 4 as well. This is absolutely catastrophic. The main gun is out. That's basically the King Tiger gone as well. Absolutely catastrophic. And remember, always support your tanks with infantry. In particular when there's anti-tank Pumas about. And with that, I would say it's safely GG here. Could have done a lot more with his munitions. Again, booby traps maybe prevented him from being flanked there, for example. That could have been pretty great there for Angreifen. So remember, mines and booby traps are important. And there you go, finally wiped here, but down to just the Sturm Pioneers and the Fudge-Makers. So an absolutely crashing blow here to Angreifen. I would say no chance of recovery. No chance of recovery. There we go. Sink error detected. He just left the game. GG. A violent loss here for Angreifen with some heavy losses. I mean, he made some good moves. The problem was, again, in some ways he didn't react, I think, quite well to the Ikab strategy. He also, I think, made some mistakes with the infantry. Plus, there was just some really lucky satchel wipes that really just screwed over Angreifen heavily, which then made things harder for him. But I definitely should have gone for a Panther sooner than he did. That way he'd been able to put more pressure on Ikab strategy. Plus, he should have been more active with his munitions. He should have been mining and booby trapping a lot more. I mean, if he'd been able to get same with more wipes with the booby traps, that would have helped him out a ton. So definitely some issues with his resource expenditure. There was Ikab. whereas Ikab, I think, played a more slow and steady game. It was a bit risky going for the IS-2 the way it did, but ultimately it did pay off quite nicely. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed the match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. And if you wish to support, you can pledge on Patreon or donate by PayPal. Links in the video description. This is Imperial Links. Cheers, and hope to see you all tomorrow again for another exciting episode. Bye.